Hello everybody, Blaine here for Bridge4 Games. Today we have kind of a short video, but one that is very important for your playthrough of Pokemon Legends Arceus, and that is where to farm grit in the game. So, in the game, obviously we need grit. They are the items that we see here. We have, our grit rock, our grit pebble, our grit gravel, and then our grit dust. All these are going to be super important when it comes to actually improving our Pokemon stats, because as we can see here, if I go ahead and look at my Pokemon right now, over here on the right, I have my, let's take a look at my Garchomp, right? So, right now my Garchomp currently has some of his stats leveled all the way up to 6, and the rest of them are currently sitting at 3. Now, the numbers to the right of the stat indicate what their current effort level is, and you can raise their effort level through the use of grit. Now, I'm not really going to talk about the grit system because I did an entire video on that, which I'm going to link ahead right now. But today we're really just going to talk about how to actually farm it and how to get as much as possible. So, there are kind of a few different methods I want to show you guys, and honestly, once you get a bunch of it, you're going to be so grateful because you're really going to need it to help your Pokemon stats. All right, so to set the first part of the plan in motion, we're going to have to go ahead and go into the, sort of wild areas here, into one of the biomes. So I'm just going to go, just for the sake of ease, I'm going to go ahead and go into the Obsidian Fieldlands, because we know there is a alpha Pokemon there. There are several static ones, and this method for getting grit is going to be pretty simple. You really just need to either knock out or catch a alpha Pokemon. And I'm going to show you guys, how easy it is when you get to one of the higher levels here, but when you do finally encounter an alpha Pokemon and you're able to defeat it, there's a good chance they're going to leave some grit behind. And okay, here we are. We have found ourselves an alpha. All right, so we have our normal, alpha Rapidash here. I'm sure everybody has seen this at least a couple times in the, first area there. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to get my Ultra Balls ready. I don't really have any items handy, but that should be plenty. I can also battle it if I really have to. But we're just going to go ahead and try to capture the Rapidash here. And let's see what we can do. Maybe we can get it. And we did. All right, cool. So let's see. It left us an experience candy, no grit. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find another one and challenge that one to see if we can get some grit that way. All right, so here we have our Alpha Infernape. Let's see what we can do with this one. So again, I'm just going to kind of try and stealthily hit it in the rear end here with a, Ultra Ball when it's not looking. And hopefully that'll be enough for us to catch it. I can always do battle with it if I have to, but, we're just going to try and catch it outright. And we didn't. Okay, so it's going to be battling time. No big deal there. I don't really mind. It's just a little bit of a hassle, that's all. So I'll bring you guys back in once I defeat this thing. All right, here goes our Ultra Ball. Come on. Can't even see it. All right, there we go. All right, cool. We caught it. All right, great. So we got ourselves an Infernape. And as we can see, it did leave us some grit gravel. Awesome. All right, so that's actually really great because we did get some gravel, which will get us from the, I believe, 4 to 6 on our effort levels there. So that's really good. Now, any Pokemon has the chance of leaving you grit items when you catch it or defeat it. However, I do tend to find that it's more consistently left by the alpha Pokemon. But even that, being the case, this really isn't the best method if you really want to farm a lot of gravel, and for that method, we actually have to go back to Jubilife Village. Alright, now once you're back in Jubilife Village, hands down, the best method for getting your grit items is to mass release your Pokemon. So, I'm actually going to go ahead and talk to Marie here. Marie? I suppose that's Marie, I don't know why I said it so weirdly there. But what I want to do here, I actually went ahead and I set aside some Pokemon who we are going to be saying goodbye to today. So, we're just going to go ahead and select all the Pokemon we want to release. Lots of Bidoof, lots of Starlies. They're good Pokemon, but look, I have pasture space for some large alpha Pokemon, and you guys have got to get going. So, we're going to go ahead and pick a lot of Pokemon using the mass release function, and then just go ahead and release them. So, yep, we're going to go ahead and get rid of them. See you later, soldiers. You did a very good job. And as soon as this is done, we're just going to go ahead and get out of this. And we're going to have our visitor come over here, and they will say, left a little something behind for us. And as you can see, we are handed 5 sacks of grit gravel. Again, that's not a ton, but if you do have a ton of Pokemon like Bidoof and Starly, and, any other ones you just don't want, you can mass release them and just get a bunch of grit items, which is going to make it a lot easier for you to make your Pokemon a lot stronger. But believe it or not, there's still one method you can use to get some of the better grit items. Now, again, this method I'm going to show you guys is not terribly efficient, but it will help you get some of those items like grit pebbles and grit rocks, provided you have enough grit dust and grit gravel, of course. So what you gotta do is come over to the training grounds, and you gotta go ahead and talk to the NPC here, Zizu. I know I've seen her a lot in the game. I can never remember her name. I'm sorry. And when you talk to her, she can actually do a lot of things. She can train up your Pokemon's moves. She can do a bunch of really cool stuff. But you say here, I want to exchange items. And she's going to ask you what you want to do. So you can turn your Grit Dust into Grit Gravel, your Grit Gravel into Grit Pebbles, and your Grit Pebbles into Grit Rocks. So let's say we want to make some Grit Pebbles because we have a bunch of gravel, right? And then we'll say we'll take one, and then we have to hand over 10 sacks of Grit Gravel to get 1 Grit Pebble. So it is a 10-to-1 exchange on this particular market here. Now, honestly, that's pretty bad. It's kind of a ripoff. We're talking like Cram-O-Matic back in the Isle of Armor type of ripoff here. But if you need those higher end grit items to actually get your stats up high, it's kind of worth it as opposed to just kind of going out there and knocking off a ton of alpha Pokemon, hoping to find one. So again, I don't recommend doing this with all of your kind of, grit items. I just did it to show you guys how this works. But again, just keep in mind, if you do need that and you really need to get your Pokemon up to 10, you can do it using this method. So there you have it, everybody. Nice, simple video today. I just want to make sure you guys know everywhere you can get grit in Pokemon Legends Arceus and how you can get some of the higher end grit items like your Grit Rocks in order to get your Pokemon all the way up to their 10th effort level. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it entertaining, but most importantly, I hope you find it helpful and you're able to use a ton of grit items to make your team as best as it can possibly be. So, that being said, everybody, I've been Blaine for Bridge4Games. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. Again, if you did like the video, please make sure that you absolutely impact that like button in the face. And of course, consider subscribing to the channel to become part of our amazing Pokemon community to make sure that you never miss any of our awesome videos like this one. Remember that the best Pokemon games are the ones that you love to play and the proper ways to play them out however you have the most fun. I hope each and every one of you have a happy, epic, awesome, and amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. See you around. Bye-bye!